They looked after him, you know, and we had to dig deep because he took some thunderous shots. But you know what? I always said, the Furies, they've got bags of bottle.
John Fury recently went off on an Instagram live session, launching a verbal attack on Oleksandr Usyk. It appears that Fury has adopted a pattern of targeting his son's opponents, and now Usyk is the latest to feel his wrath. This verbal clash was somewhat expected, given that Oleksandr Usyk had previously thrown jabs at both Tyson Fury and John Fury. His remarks came after Tommy Fury, Tyson's brother, canceled his upcoming fight for unclear reasons. In response, Usyk stated in an interview that John Fury could even pull Tyson from the upcoming Unified World Heavyweight Championship fight.
Now, Jesus. Yeah, see that? It's bad behavior. It's bad behavior because it's big man. It's father. It's not street fighter.
Usyk's comments might have seemed humorous to others, but John Fury clearly didn't find them amusing. He quickly jumped on an Instagram live session, vowing that Tyson Fury would send Usyk back to the cruiserweight division after defeating him in their upcoming rematch and trilogy.
What's happened to him? He just looked like a bag of bones getting out of a swimming pool. He's just got no structure, no frame at all to mess with the Gypsy King at 20.
In a more intense turn, John Fury referenced the ongoing war in Ukraine, warning Usyk that he had crossed a line and was now in enemy territory, suggesting that his only fate would be destruction. However, only time will tell if this claim holds weight, with the upcoming fight on December 21st set to reveal the truth. Tyson Fury, typically known for his mind games, has been somewhat subdued in the build-up to this fight, stepping into the spotlight left by his father, who has often stolen the headlines away from the fighters themselves.
5 rounds. Usyk is a good little fighter at middleweight and light heavyweight, maybe up in cruiser, but he can't mess with them big guys. I was shocked when
John Fury made headlines in the boxing world after his chaotic interference in his son Tyson's corner, which ultimately contributed to Tyson's first career loss against Oleksandr Usyk in their undisputed World Heavyweight Championship match in May. To make matters worse, John recently became involved in a brawl during a press conference for his son Tommy Fury, an incident that led to numerous trolls, with Oleksandr Usyk being one of the most prominent.
Little John, be quiet.
Listen, Little John, you could leave my son Tyson's name out of your mouth.
What?
Leave his name out of your mouth. You're good enough to suck his
real.
dick,
Tyson come to spar me and I treated him like a baby. How's Tommy?
You couldn't treat me like a
Little
baby.
John.
Chaotic scenes unfolded at the press conference announcing Tommy Fury's fight against Darren.
The chaotic scenes unfolded at a press conference announcing Tommy Fury's upcoming fight against Darren Till. Fury will make his long-awaited return to boxing in the new year, taking on former UFC star Till at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester on January 18th. Tommy, a former Love Island contestant, has not fought since his controversial win over YouTuber-turned-boxer KSI in October of the previous year.
Pig's eyes!
Little John, you're
Pig's eyes! Pig's eyes!
Hang on, no one's seen you since Usyk bladdered Tyson. Where have you been? Go back to where you fucking came from, mate.
Pig's eyes!
Fury had been tipped to make an appearance on this year's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but reports claimed he pulled out for a more lucrative offer, and as the fighters faced off for the first time since the bout was announced, things turned dramatic with John Fury at the center of the action again as Fury, until traded insults. Both camps had to be restrained as things became nasty, with John seen throwing a glass of water at Till. It was thrown to limited effect, however, with Tommy left soaked by his father, but it still incensed Till, who was seen attempting to charge towards the 59-year-old.
Little John.
Pig's eyes!
Okay, thanks. All this bullshit talk goes out the window.
With a set of eyes like he's got?
It goes out the window on the 18th. It goes out the window on the 18th.
I've just said what I'm going to do.
It goes out the window on the 18th. So talk all you want. I'll be seeing.
The confrontation at the press conference escalated quickly, with security having to hold back the Liverpudlian, John Fury, who showed no signs of backing down as he aimed to confront Tommy's opponent, Darren Till. After removing his jacket, John appeared ready to charge until, following a heated exchange of insults between the two, Tommy Fury had taunted Till, saying, "Listen, Darren, you've got to walk into the firing line, mate." Till shot back, "Well, at the end of the day, if I can't beat you, I'll just kick you in the face in there."
How about that?
Fury retorted, "Well, That's not going to happen, is it, Darren? You want ANS? Because we ain't in the cage now, we're in the boxing ring, and you're going to find out that boxing is very different from MMA. But Till was undeterred, continuing to threaten Fury. Well, obviously it is.
How are you going to stop me?
If I'm losing the fight, I'll kick you straight in the face. You won't know what hit you. Fury replied, well, if you kick me straight in the face, then it'll be a proper fight, but I'll win because I'm a proper fighter. Till then turned to taunt Fury even more, saying, I don't walk into a room like this and go, not one of the people in here is a threat to me. Security, your dad, are not a threat to me. I'm an MMA fighter, so if I'm going to kick you or elbow you in the face, I'm going to do it and no one can do anything about it. So, how about that? Till continued to mock Tommy Fury, calling him, Tommy, you've got the IQ of a loaf of bread. What are you on about? You're an empty head. At this point, John Fury launched an attack, throwing his glass of water at Till, which came after a series of insults exchanged between the two. John had earlier called Till pig's eyes. During the intense exchange, Till mocked John Fury by calling him Little JN as the two went back and forth in a verbal war. John Fury fired back, telling Till, leave my son Tyson's name out of your mouth, before repeatedly calling him pig's eyes 8 times. John also labeled Till a disgrace to Liverpool and said he had the face of an idiot. In response, Till taunted, Tyson came to spar me, and I treated him like a baby. Nobody's seen you since Usyk battered Tyson. Where have you been, Little John? Go back to where you freaking came from, mate. Little John, shut up. Throughout the back and forth, Tommy Fury managed to stay out of the insults, while KSI, the CEO of Misfits Boxing, was seen laughing and enjoying the drama. Knowing the anticipation for the January 18th main event was only growing, this wasn't John Fury's first public altercation. During a media day for a previous match, he was involved in another heated incident with Oleksandr Usyk's entourage. At one point, John Fury was seen attempting to headbutt one of Usyk's team members before security intervened. Afterward, John Fury was seen with blood pouring from a cut on his face.
You want an axe yet? Hey,
Tyson Fury's father, John, headbutted a member of Oleksandr Usyk's entourage after the individual entered his space and disrespected his son. John Fury admitted to the attack, stating that he was left bleeding from his forehead following the incident, which took place in the lobby of the Riyadh Hilton Hotel in Saudi Arabia. Footage quickly circulating on social media captured John Fury lashing out with his head. John Fury directed the headbutt towards Stanislav Stepchuk, who was wearing Usyk's team tracksuit. Stepchuk then had to be restrained.
Come on, let's go. Here, between Tommy Fury.
Security intervened to prevent any further escalation of the confrontation. John Fury has since revealed that the altercation began after members of Usyk's camp repeatedly shouted his name at Fury's entourage. I was sat there minding my own business, he told IFL TV, wearing a cap that covered the mark on his head. All I could hear was Usyk, Usyk, Usyk. He described the chanting as madness and explained that he reacted by launching the headbutt after some little idiot stepped into his space.
Fury! Fury! Fury!
Let's go, John. Let's go, John.
Let's go!
Tempers flared when the two teams crossed paths in the hotel lobby on Monday, leading to a violent confrontation that overshadowed the pre-fight media day for Saturday's undisputed world heavyweight title fight. Both camps were chanting the names of their respective fighters, but John Fury crossed a line when he became physically involved in the altercation.
towards Stanislav Stepchuk, who was wearing Usyk's team tracksuit. He then had to be restrained.
Tempers escalated into a physical confrontation when John Fury assaulted Stanislav Stepchuk, a member of Usyk's team, in the hotel lobby. The atmosphere resembled that of a football match, with both camps trying to outchant the other. However, it was Fury who crossed the line, with footage showing him touching heads with one member of Usyk's group before being pulled away and appearing to headbutt another of Usyk's entourage. The 59-year-old father of the Gypsy King was cut during the altercation, and despite attempts to wipe away the blood, it continued to flow. Fury had to be restrained repeatedly, while Usyk's camp continued to chant their fighter's name at Fury's entourage. When asked about the incident, John Fury said he was minding my own business, but got involved after he felt disrespected. Speaking to another news outlet, he explained, "All I could hear was Usyk, Usyk, Usyk coming out with all that rubbish. He's in my face trying to be clever, coming into my space. Usyk, Usyk, nobody's bothering with them. I was only chanting my own son's name." John Fury added, "I'm going to stand up for my son. At the end of the day, my son is the best in the world, and I want people to respect him and give him the credit he deserves. He's the best in the world, and when people start saying this and saying that when I was among them, all I could hear was madness. Some little idiot came forward in my space, and he got what he got, and that's the end of it." After walking away from the confrontation, he was heard shouting, "We live for blood and guts." Despite the heated exchange, John Fury did issue an apology, telling those involved to calm down.
You know, I'm saying to everybody with a pair of ears, you know, let's be respectful to one another. All I can say, you.
John Fury added, "I'm going to stand up for my son. At the end of the day, my son is the best in the world, and I want people to respect him and give him the credit he deserves. He's the best in the world, and when people start saying this and saying that when I was among them, all I could hear was madness. Some little idiot came forward in my space, and he got what he got, and that's the end of it." After walking away from the confrontation, he was heard shouting, "We live for blood and guts." Despite the heated exchange, John Fury did issue an apology, telling those involved to calm down. "It doesn't bother me bleeding. It's what we live for. We're fighting people," said John Fury. "I apologize because I thought initially that one of our guys hit John, but then I saw the video and saw it was vice versa," stated Usyk's promoter. "So, do I take my apology back? Because it was his misbehavior. He has to apologize because this does not give a good impression about us to the rest of the world. It's up to him."
Stand there with our fingers in our mouth, not doing nothing. I'm full of testosterone, man. I'm ready to go 24 hours a day from my boot to the top of my head. That's what I want to do. I want to get in and...
"It wouldn't be good if it got out of control," Usyk said, adding, "Don't touch my guys. They are dangerous." Tyson Fury missed the incident, as he was speaking to the media in a side room. However, when he saw his father covered in blood, he was in shock but began laughing, knowing what John Fury was capable of. "What's happened to your head, you silly? How have you cut yourself like that?" Tyson asked, amused.
Finish fucking shit! I live for blood, guts and horror! Blood.
Initially, Tyson Fury didn't have a full grasp of what had happened. He only knew there had been a brawl, and when asked about it, he replied as someone who had little knowledge of the situation. "I didn't see anything. I was in the room doing interviews, but I'm not here for all that. I'm here to get the job done and go home and rest," the heavyweight said. However, after hearing his father's version of events, Tyson became more furious. In another interview, he acknowledged his father's dramatic flair. "That was really crazy. I spoke to my old man, and he told me everything I don't know, but I refuse to be distracted by that. I'll get revenge for him in the ring. He wants some blood in return. I'll get it for him," Tyson said.
To my good friend, His Excellency, about my behaviour this evening in the greatest country in the world, Saudi Arabia. Apologies.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
According to Sky Sports, Saudi Arabian authorities have stated that no charges will be pressed and no further action will be taken at this stage. However, boxing fans have expressed outrage, calling for John Fury to be banned from attending Saturday's heavyweight unification fight. Fury has a history of stirring chaos in the lead-up to big fights involving his family, but this latest violent incident has taken things to a new level. Supporters are furious with his actions and are demanding that fight organizers discipline him. On X, one boxing fan posted, "Ban him from attending the fight." Another shocked viewer commented, "Why does John Fury have to make it about him? Don't think I've ever seen any other boxer's dad so crave the limelight. Embarrassing." Others referred to John Fury as an absolute clown for the headbutt incident.
He said you disrespected Tyson Fury.
Якщо він від імені з ним таке відбувається, він перегрівається, що буде на рингу, коли
Usyk's team and Fury's team are
Reputation. Fury has a history, having served 3 years in prison for assault in England after a violent brawl where he gouged a man's eye. Tyson Fury was left stunned after seeing his father with a bloodied face, but the focus now shifts to the upcoming historic fight. Tyson and Usyk will meet for the first time at the Kingdom Arena, with Saturday's clash set to crown the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 2000, and the first of the four-belt era. Tyson Fury is feeling the weight of history as he declared, "I can't wait. It's unbelievable to be out here." Everyone is on a high. Big-time boxing in Saudi Arabia is fantastic. I'm going to enjoy this week because it's been many years coming. So we'll enjoy it. I feel on top of the world, and I can't wait. Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion, captured his World Boxing Association, WBA, International Boxing Federation, IBF, and World Boxing Organization, WBO, titles by defeating Anthony Joshua at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in 2021. He successfully defended them in a rematch against Joshua in Jeddah a year later. Several attempts to set up a fight against Tyson Fury were delayed, but an agreement was finally reached in September. However, the original fight date of February 17th had to be postponed when Fury suffered a training injury, resulting in a cut.
On and who ain't. We'll find out who the Hector and who the Achilles is. You ever watch the movie Troy? And you got the two top fighters of that era. Hector!
Before the fighters step into the ring, a week of promotional activities awaits. Usyk is expected to be a target for Fury's mind games, but the Ukrainian is undeterred, stating, "I'm doing good, I'm happy, and I'm hungry. I don't care how Tyson will be this week. I'm ready." He emphasized that the May 18th fight is his focus, adding, "What Tyson does in the press conferences doesn't matter. I don't think about Tyson Fury now.
I've seen him in a lot of fights.
I don't know how he will box against me. We will see when we get into the ring."
What do you think of that?
No, same. Show me.
Once again, as Tyson Fury steps into the ring, he will not only face Oleksandr Usyk, but also confront the personal demons he has kept at bay for a long time. Regardless of the outcome, whether he wins or loses, it will be another inspirational chapter in the Gypsy King story, though undoubtedly, he would love to reclaim his titles. Speaking about the fight, Tyson Fury's promoter, Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions, shared his thoughts with Sky Sports. He believes the previous fight took a toll on Usyk. "I went to both fighters' dressing rooms afterward," Warren explained. "I was in Tyson's dressing room, and he was obviously very disappointed. He felt he'd done enough to win the fight. It was close, and there was still a lot of life in him. I went into Alexander's dressing room to congratulate him, and he knew it had been the toughest fight of his career. At the time, they were concerned he'd broken his jaw. His manager told me that an implanted tooth had impacted his gum. It was a grueling fight for both of them, fought at a high pace with lots of punches thrown. It was a tough, close, and brilliant contest."
Wait, hold on. Gotta go back now. Jesus.
Yeah, see that? It's bad behavior. It's bad behavior because
Warren believes Usyk will need to box the same way as before, but improve to win. However, he acknowledges that Fury can adapt his approach for the second fight. Fury knows what he's got to do. Better than me or anyone else, said Warren. He added that both fighters know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and now the question is whether they can exploit those weaknesses.
Listen, it's very important first time for me, but it's very important for my country.
Warren has a gut feeling that Fury will capitalize on Usyk's weaknesses in the second fight, as Fury possesses the physical attributes like height, jab, and punch power. Warren advises Fury to use these attributes. Fury himself insists he cannot improve more than he already has for the rematch, but admits he will stop his clowning behavior.
You've ever done? I know good, because they never have the guts to do that. But behind the computer screen, anybody can be anybody, and everybody's tough.
The rematch is going to be something special. The first fight was the best heavyweight fight of the 21st century at 5 to 2 halves, and I think we're going to get something extra special again. But that fight had some dramatic moments in it, and they both